everyone, Maya here from MaiStoryBook, and today I am very excited to share a brand new book and a very special series that we have read before. So, this book is called The Mighty Silent E, the letter E, right over here. And if you remember, or if this artwork looks kind of familiar, then you might remember some of the other books we've read that are written by the same author and the same illustrator and are also about letters, words, and punctuation marks. So if you remember, we have read before The Day the Punctuation Came to Town and The Little Eye Who Lost His Dot. These super fun books are part of the Language is Fun series. Well, the third book just came out, The Mighty Silent E, and that's the one we will be reading today. And my friends, if you haven't heard these books yet, then you can go ahead and check them out on MaiStoryBook's YouTube channel and check out those fun reading and word adventure books too. Well, for today's interactive read aloud, we are going to be focusing on another little letter. Last time it was the little I. This time it's the letter E. So in sign language, this is how you make an E. Put out your hand and then curl up your fingers in your thumb like this. That would be a little E. And in this story, we're going to learn about a very special job that this little E has. Little E's have a very special job in words. When you're making words to read and to write, little E has a pretty important job. My friends, do any of you know what that job might be already? If you don't, no worries, we're going to find out. And if you do, well, then see if you can follow along in the story and help us out through parts of it, all right? And at the end of this story, there's going to be a little craft that I will show you that will help you learn more about little E and practice using the mighty silent E in your own writing and reading, all right? So, I think we are ready to begin. Double thumbs up if you're ready to get started. Excellent. Let's get reading. So the title of today's interactive read aloud is The Mighty Silent E. And my friends, what do you think the word silent means? Silent means quiet. Quiet and silent are like the same words, means not very loud, very quiet. So the mighty silent E. So that gives me a clue that E, is E a very noisy letter? No. E's a quiet letter. And mighty E. What in this picture makes E look mighty? Mighty means strong and brave. Right? Little E over here is wearing a cape, kind of like a superhero. My friends, do you have a favorite superhero? Right, and superheroes usually have special powers. And what kind of superpowers does your favorite superhero have? Yeah, wow, that's super powerful. I'm wondering what powers little E has here that makes him so mighty, huh? All right, do you notice anything else on the cover, my friends? Yeah, little E's on this big hill. How is he feeling? Looks pretty happy. He's got his hands up like a hero, some trees in the background. And before we forget, The Mighty Silent E was written by Kimberlee Gard, so that's the author of the book, and illustrated by Sandie. So that means that Sandie drew all the pictures that you are about to see. And even in the title of this book, my friends, do you remember what this end mark is called that we put at the end of the sentence? It's an exclamation point. And when we have an exclamation point, we use a very excited voice when we read it, because exclamation point means excited and louder, right? So the mighty silent E. Punctuation is so fun. Okay, well, let's begin. So here's our title page, which means it has the title of our book, The Mighty Silent E, the author and illustrator Kimberlee Gard and Sandie. And over on this side, I see a little picture of little E over here. He looks really happy, right? A little smile. Ooh, all right. Little E knew he was important. After all, he came from a long line of E's. So that means that there were a lot of E's before him, right? These are all his ancestors, all the letter E's that lived before him. And if you notice, these E's look different than little E. Why is that? Right, these are uppercase E's, right, that are usually at the beginning of a sentence. There's an uppercase E for names and first words of the sentence, and then we have lowercase E's for E's in the middle of a sentence or the middle of a word. So when little E grows up, he's going to look like uppercase E. And what do you notice about the uppercase E's? They all look a little different. Their hair, their hats. So what do you see? Right? What a fun group of E's. All these different hairstyles and personalities. So little E knew he'd be important because he came from all these other important letter E's. Well, at home, he loved to wear his blue cape and dream of the day that he would come to the rescue. He knew that he had the power to be a hero. He just needed a chance to prove it. So little E really wants to be a superhero. He even dresses up like a superhero because he's wearing a cape. And what does Mom feel about what he's doing? Yeah, right. Mom's like, get down from there. Don't stand on the furniture, right? Gotta be safe. And over here, I see a little picture frame of E and his little bow tie, right? Maybe it's a school picture. So I wonder if little E would get the chance to be a hero. But at school, little E's belief in himself didn't really count for much. That's kind of telling me that even though he really wanted to be a superhero, it didn't really matter much when he was at school. The other little letters rarely paid him any attention, probably because he didn't have much to say. But little E liked being quiet or silent. Remember, like the title? And my friends, do you see little E? Can you point to little E in this picture? Yeah, he's right over here. And what do you notice about what he's doing versus what all the other little letters are doing? How is he kind of different from what they're doing? Yeah, right? All the other letters are playing together on the playground, and he's over here reading by himself, staying silent and quiet. Well, little E worked hard, quietly studying words and sounds. So studying all the different letter sounds that letters make. And my friends, I'm seeing some different letters on this page. What other two letters are here? That's an R, and R makes what sound? An R for R, and an O makes, what sound does an O make? You're right, that one's kind of tricky because O can make lots of different sounds. It can make an O sound, an ah sound, an ooh sound sometimes with another O. And I noticed that E, what is little E doing? Taking notes, studying hard, looks like he's paying attention. But what are R and O doing in class? They do not look like they are studying as hard, right? Should you do that in class? I don't think so, right? But this looks like little E's desk, but where'd he go? Little E worked hard, he studied, until, that tells me something's gonna change. Until one day, little E didn't show up for class. Where did little E go, do you think? Yeah, I don't know, he's just absent that day. Uh-oh. But the little letters didn't even notice little E was gone. After all, little E was so quiet, he was easy to overlook. So overlook means he was easy to not even notice, to not even see. So they didn't even realize he was gone. Are those very good friends if you don't even realize one friend is gone? No. But when Miss Capital T, do you see Miss Capital T? Capital means uppercase, a big T. Here she is. She must be the teacher. T for teacher, Miss Capital T. When Miss Capital T had the little letters join into groups to make words, things didn't go so well. And I'm wondering why not. If I take a look, my friends, I see that these letters are holding pictures up, a picture of something, and I think that they are trying to spell that word. My friends, can we look at the pictures? Can you tell me what word they're trying to make? All right, let's look at this one. What word are they trying to make? Cake, right? And what letters do you see? I see a C, a K, A, K. And over here, what word is S trying to make? Rose. I hear a S in rose. And there's these two letters. What letters are these? O and R, also making rose. And over here, this little guy's trying to make kite. And it's little I. I for kite, and it looks like little I has his dot right there, right? And over here, she is handing this little letter a skate. I hear that skate for little letter T. So this is little t and this is capital T. So they're trying to make these words, but it's not going so well. Cake, rose, kite, skate. Little c, little a, and little e join together to make a word for a type of dessert. Do you remember which word they're trying to make? Cake, right? But no matter how they arranged themselves, no matter what order they put themselves in, they couldn't make the word work. They couldn't spell cake. Because, my friends, if I see a C-A-K, let's sound it out. That makes a k, a, k. This little a is going to make an a sound because it needs a special letter at the end for it to make an a sound, And, they're trying different ways. What about this way? Nope, they just can't spell cake. It always comes out cack. I think they're missing a letter. Do you know what letter they might need at the end? Well, let's keep going. Looks like these letters are having a hard time too. Let's look at what word these letters are trying to make. What letters do you see here? R-O-S. So little r, little o, and little s, we're having the same problem. We need to make the word for a type of flower, they said. But no matter how hard we try, it just doesn't sound right. Do you remember what flower they're trying to make? A rose. But when they do R-O-S, the word is actually os. Ross. That O makes an ah sound, not an O sound, because it's missing a letter at the end. What special letter at the end makes this O say its name for rose? And, oh no, what letters are here? K-I-T. Tell me about it, said little k, little I, and little t, who are trying to become a word that could fly. What's that toy in the sky that can fly that starts with a K, a kite? But instead of kite, they are spelling the word it. Kit. Oh no, not kite. They need a special letter at the end to make that I sound for kite. Oh no, look at all of these words. My friends, what letters are these? G-A-M, little g, little a, and little m all started to cry. No one will ever play with this word. So this is something you play with. They have a G, an A, and M. And right now, their word is gam. What word do you think they're trying to make? Something you can play with. Not a gam, but a game. But they need a special letter at the end. And little t, little a, little b, and little l, 4 letters, scrambled around and around until they gave up. So T-A-B-L kind of sounds like tabble. Tabble doesn't sound like a real word. It sounds kind of like nonsense. Wonder what word they're trying to make. That little a made an a sound instead of an a sound. And little s, little k, little a, and little t cried out, it's not working. So let's see. Scat. That sounds like a funny word too. I wonder what word they're trying to make. And then, down here, what letters are these? Z-O-N. Little z, little o, and little n all looked confused. What is going on? Why can't we make the right words today? Why can't they make the right words today, my friends? It seems like they're all missing a letter at the end. And what special letter is that? It might just be that one that's not in class today that's missing. I wonder if now they'll notice that little E is gone. Well, Miss Capital T joined the little letters. Looks like we are missing someone important. And who are they missing? Little E. The little letters looked around. Suddenly, they noticed their friend, little E, was gone. Look at N as a telescope. Where are you, little E? What will we do? The little letters asked. We can't make these words without him. But then, who's this? Little E came back and, let's see where he was. Then little E walked into the classroom. Sorry I'm late, he whispered. So whispers when you talk really quiet, my friends. Can you whisper and talk really quietly, so not with a loud voice, but a whisper voice. Whisper me something. Yeah, I had to listen extra hard because you were whispering quietly. So remember, little E is kind of quiet and silent. So, sorry I'm late, he whispered. I had a sore throat. So my mom took me to see the throat doctor. Because if you have a sore throat, you got to see the doctor, make sure you're okay. And how do the little letters feel now that little E is back? Yeah, how do you know? Because they're smiling, they're lifting little E up on their shoulders, cheering for him. They are so glad little E is back. Why are they so happy? I think they realized how important little E is, huh? The little letters cheered. Little E, you're here at last. We tried, but we can't make these words without you. Let's see how little E helps them out. Are you ready? Well, little E smiled. He dreamed about this moment and he knew what to do. This was a job for the mighty silent E. Oh, it seems like little E gets to be a hero today and save the day and help make these words. He ran to the end of each row of letters. So little E goes at the end of these words. And let's see what words he helps them make. Look at all these words. Let's spell them and read them together. So, suddenly, C-A-K, cack, became cake. And if you see now that little E is here at the end, that little A makes an A sound. The A says its name, cake. And, down here, what letters do you see? R-O-S-E. And since little E is there, the O can now make the O sound instead of the aw sound. So rose, R-O-S became rose. And what letters are these? K-I-T-E. Now that I makes that I sound. Kite. Kite, K-I-T became kite. Oh, and over here, this is the thing you play with. Let's see if we had gotten it right. So, G-A-M became game. That A makes an A sound. Game, something you play with. This is the weird one. T-A-B-L, table, became table with the E. That A makes an A sound. Table. Oh, and how about this one? S-K-A-T, scat, becomes skate. That A sound, little E helps that A make an A sound. And last one, my friends, this was the funny one with the letter Z. So Z-O-N, zon becomes zone. That O now makes an O sound. Little E can help change the sound of some of the letters. Without little E, they make different sounds. E is so important. And notice that little E always comes at the end, right? To change those letter sounds. How did you do that? All the little letters asked. Little E, you make no sound, but you change sounds around. Right, my friends, did you notice that? You don't hear little E at the end. Little E makes no sound at the end. Let's go take a look. Right? I don't hear the E. I hear cake, rose, kite, game, table, skate, zone. I don't hear any E sound at the end. It's not zony, skatey, tabley, gamey. That'd be silly, right? It's just game, table, skate, zone. That E is silent at the end, but it changes sounds around. What a special power little E has. He's silent, but he can change other sounds of the letters. Ooh. But as usual, when they asked, little E was silent. He just smiled. That's just what I do. That's my job. And with his friends all around him, little E felt happier than he ever had. Little E's dreams had come true. He had saved the day, and he hadn't even needed his cape. He was a superhero, and he didn't even need his cape. The end, my friends. And look how happy they are to have their friend E back, right? Because E is very important to making different words. Wow, what a fun book about letters and sounds. The end, my friends. So we learned a lot in this book about the little letter E and about different letters, about different sounds that letters can make, how they can change, what special job little E has, my friends. What was one of your favorite parts about this story? Right? I thought it was kind of funny when all the letters were trying to make their word, but they couldn't because they were missing a letter, and instead they made these nonsense words, right? All these words that sounded really silly, like not even real words. Good thing that little E came back and helped them out. So, my friends, can you explain to me, what does little E do, or how did little E help the other letters to make words? Right. When little mighty silent E goes at the end of words, he can change some of the letter sounds. And do you know your vowels, my friends? There's 5 of them. A, E, I, O, and U are vowels that can change their sounds. These little letters can make different sounds depending on what letters they are next to. A, E, I, O, U, sometimes the letter Y too. Well, my friends, I have a craft for you that will help you practice using Mighty Silent E's superpower to make new words and different words. And in this craft, you'll get to see how Mighty Silent E uses his powers to change the sound of words and make words into different words just by sticking himself at the end, all right? So if you're ready, let's go ahead and check these crafts out. So for today's craft, we have 3 different parts to it. And of course, like always, there's a colored in version that you can print out already colored, or a black and white version. And first I'm going to show you the little Mighty Silent E puppet sticks. So these are little puppet sticks you can use, and you can print them out, you can color it in or print it out in color, glue it to a popsicle stick, and then you can hold them up to help make new words. So if your teacher wants to write some nonsense words on the board and see if you add a Mighty Silent E at the end, if it changes the word into a real word, then you can practice making new words with your Mighty Silent E by waving them in the air if you think that word needs a silent E at the end. So that's a fun way to do it. There's also these little word puzzles where you can practice changing the sounds of the letters if you have that Mighty Silent E at the end. So for example, there's this one that says K-I-T, kit, and I drew a little picture of a kit. But if I lift the flap, there's Mighty Silent E, and it turns this word kit into kite, and at the top I drew a little kite. So it's really cool because you see here's the word without it. You draw a little picture, flip it open, Mighty Silent E changes the word to a new word. So there's a whole bunch of different ones that you can do. I think there's 9 different ones. This one's T-A-P, tap with your finger. If you show Mighty Silent E, it becomes tape that you use to like stick things together. There's hop, and then dun-dun-dun-dun, hope with Mighty Silent E. So these are super fun little word puzzles that you can practice. One last one, there's these nonsense words, like in the story. All the little letters tried to make words, but they just made nonsense words like cack, Roz, scat, zon. And here you can cut out the little Mighty Silent E's, glue them onto the right place, and put them right at the end to help make these words. Cake, rose, game, make them into real words. If you don't want to cut and tape, there's also a version where you can just write in the silent E to fix the nonsense words and turn them into real words. So those Mighty Silent E activities, the word puzzles, fill in the blanks, the little Mighty Silent E puppets can be found on my blog, MaiStoryBook, by clicking on that link down below. There you'll also find additional reading resources to go with the book Mighty Silent E, and you can also find on the blog the other stories and crafts that go along with the other Language is Fun books. All right, my friends, well, that brings us to the end of today's interactive Read Aloud. I hope you had some fun learning about letters and practicing letter sounds and the powers of superhero Mighty Silent E with me. I can't wait to see you next time on our next reading adventure, but until then, stay safe and healthy, enjoy your school time, and happy reading!